weekend means more gigs to queue up.
Before it's time to spin, you've got to first cue it up.
I'm probably in your area too. Everybody who owns a laptop, they're a DJ. Everybody who owns a DSL camera, they're a photographer.
And what I'll do is put up blurbs so therefore you can see what I'm thinking about and why I chose that song. You can see the reaction of the kids. So you can kind of like get an idea of how to use it and what to expect.
Why do you want to charge for something that you have the knowledge of and these other DJs don't have the knowledge of? Share your knowledge, you know?
Right.
But it's DJing's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but it is a lot of fun too, you know? I'm DJ Mikey Mike. I cover central, northeastern Pennsylvania, southeastern Pennsylvania, parts of New Jersey, parts of New York State.
And I'm Dwayne Dixon, the hitmanddub from Cleveland, Ohio. And it's time to cue it up. What's up, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the hitmanddub, and my friend DJ Mike. And tonight we are joined by two special guest DJs, bilingual DJs. One is our regular on our show, DJ Will, and we have our new friend DJ Maxx Saint joining us tonight. So our podcast is a podcast for DJs of all skill levels to come connect, learn, and grow From pro tips to real talk, we're here to support and celebrate the DJ community. So last week, we was joined by our other DJ friend, DJ Reese, and we talked about not only DJing at a corporate event, but making sure that once you get the gig, you get the same repeat gigs over and over. It turns out to be a repeat booking for you. So it's not like a one-off thing. So the main takeaways was corporate DJ gigs can offer consistent, well-paying work. So because once a company trusts you, that one event can turn into multiple bookings throughout the year. And the key is that they are not just booking a DJ, they're booking someone who they can trust with their brand and make their event run smoothly. 2, post-event client relationships. So it's important after you do the gig that you send some kind of follow-up email thanking them for hiring you to do their event, and try to keep that open communication going. So that's how you can get a repeat booking. And then the third one is when you're at the event, even before the event, but being sociable, genuine, and visible in clients' professional networks enhances trust and referral potential. And so tonight's episode is called Don't Mess This Up, DJing to a Latin Crowd. So this was something that was suggested by DJ Will, and I thought it would be interesting because I've DJed for, I guess you could say, a split wedding, where the bride was American and then the groom was Latino. So we had a split of songs to play. But I wouldn't say, I'm not scared to do a Latino event, but I do know that I'm not heavy into the Latin, the Latin musical genres, especially after you listen to people like Brian S. Red or DJ Bar, Diego, Las Rucas Inc., where they talked about the subdivisions. And see, I have no idea what they're talking about. I know salsa, but all the, bachatas and all, there's a whole bunch of different.
Take out your writing pad. You're going to need a writing pad today.
Yep, I'm ready. Yep, so I want to learn.
Genres and subgenres.
Yeah, I want to learn about that and then when to use it, because that's the other thing. There's a certain time that it fits best. So that's why I want to learn tonight. So, but before we get started, let's because we kind of like met DJ Will before, because this was 6th, 7th, maybe your 8th time. I think you just beat DJ Cool Thing for being on our show the most. But let me introduce DJ Maxx Saint to you all. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hello, thanks for having me on. I'm queued up. It's a pleasure to be here. Very happy to see everybody here participating in a nice DJ talk about the Latin genres especially. My real name is actually Maximilian Sanchez, and I've been into the Latin music genre for a very long time. I actually got into the wedding DJ business by accident. I first began as a salsa dance instructor. And now the thing is, my wife taught me how to salsa dance because I came from the hip hop house music era of music from dancing in the clubs in New York City. Now, if you ever watched the Dirty Dancing movie with Patrick Swayze, my wife was the Patrick Swayze character. I was the baby character, pretty much. So just imagine a 6-foot baby character sitting in the corner of the movie. So, but anyway, my wife taught me all the moves, and I was bit by the salsa bug, and I started collecting all the music. And as a result, I started doing some fiddling around with the DJ equipment that was already in clubs that we were teaching at. And then once I got used to the equipment, I kind of self-taught myself on how to DJ at clubs. And then people are telling me, oh, you should start doing Latin DJ at clubs in the West Nyack area and then in New York and stuff like that. And then from there, people told me you should start doing weddings because there's a lot of people that can't find a good, Latin DJ to do, salsa, merengue, bachata, and all the other genres. And then from there, it just took off, like literally like almost 20 years ago. And then I built up the business from there. And then I've learned the hard way how to play for the Mexican crowd versus the Colombian crowd versus the Ecuadorian crowd versus the Bolivian crowd or the Chilean crowd or Peruvian. There's like I learned everything the hard way. I figured like, oh, they spoke Spanish, so I can play salsa, merengue, bachata, but nobody got up. So we can get into that more deeper into conversation later on, but that's pretty much how I got into DJing as a result of my teaching salsa dancing to all my students with my wife.
So, question.
Cool.
So, when you DJ, do you
Yes.
dance or do you just DJ or do you do both?
When I'm DJing at an event, am I dancing too? You mean?
Yeah, because just like for instance, I just had a event where they wanted country line dancing. So they wanted someone to kind of like lead it, and they was hoping that since I was the DJ, I could kind of like lead it. So
Oh, I see what
therefore,
you're saying. Yeah.
I went out and did the dances with them. Or if I'm doing an event and I see some people struggling trying to do the dance, if I know it, I'll go out there and show them how to do it real quick and then jump back on the decks. But I was just wondering, are you the one that would get out there and dance a lot right along with them?
It's funny that you say that. Sometimes when I'm booking a wedding client, I will let them know that I'm also a salsa dance instructor. Now, if it just so happens that the wedding client is having, let's say, a bilingual wedding, where let's say, for example, one side of the family Spanish and the other is not, but they want their first dance to be choreographed by my wife. My wife gets part of the action in terms of teaching the bride and groom salsa dancing. Now, when it comes to the actual event where I'm DJing an event and I'm playing salsa music, sometimes the bride will say, "Hey, the DJ is also a salsa dance instructor. Can we get like a quick 30-second, salsa lesson for all the guests that want to dance with us?" Because sometimes she wants all the guests to be involved in the celebration of the bride and groom. So I'll just get up in there on the dance floor from time to time and then teach some basic steps and then for a quick, couple minutes. And guests have a lot of super fun out of it. And then once I teach the salsa dancing, people catch on right away and they have a lot of fun after that. So,
Okay. So, Will, you was getting ready to say something?
No, I said cool. I didn't know he was a salsa dancer.
Yep.
oh yeah, for a long time. I learned with Eddie Torres from New York City. So
Cool.
I've been learning from him literally like almost 22 years. So
Okay.
I love watching the salsa dance. I mean, it's so unique, their dancing. It's unbelievable.
yeah, lots of turns, lots of spins. And
Yes.
also when it comes to DJing salsa music for events, there's not necessarily a downbeat you're following. It's more like a clave beat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Has like a 3/2
ba-
measure to it.
Da,
So
da,
yeah.
yeah.
So it's interesting how that works. Sometimes you can let's say mix on a downbeat for salsa, but it's mainly there's so many breaks and jazz type of incorporate like influences in salsa that
Yes.
it's like you just can't mix it fluently, with
No.
an intro and an outro. Sometimes some music services would incorporate that in the music, but then
Yeah.
you have to chop off some of the song to make it happen the right way, so to
Yeah.
speak. So sometimes I even heard that the timbale roll at the beginning of the Cue It Up music that was introing the show.
Yeah, that was nice.
That
different.
that was like interesting because it's like if that begins on the one beat and you want to exit a song at the last bar, then you'll have the next salsa song come in with that particular instrument. So there's always different ways to incorporate or even mix salsa music together versus trying to blend it. Because if you try doing, let's say, what do they call it on Serato? A quantized blend where everything looks all even, it's impossible. So you got to have an ear for it.
Yeah,
as
if
you're
you,
mixing it.
if you can mix Spanish music, you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In other words, that's what the DJ
Very
Maxx
good.
Saint is saying.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that goes back to because remember a couple of weeks ago when I said, and this week I got the contract and the retainer paid. It was the French guy that wanted me to play like a lot of world music, Latino music, reggaeton music. Those with that kind of music, it wasn't anything that was on like a downbeat or the 2 and 4 clap. It was a lot of syncopated stuff. So he gave me a list of songs from his playlist, and he wanted me to do like a demo mix of it just to see if I could handle it. And that's going back to what you were saying. I noticed with those songs, every time I tried to blend, it wasn't like a straight, you started right on one. It's like I had to listen because everything is syncopated so bad. I had to listen to it, and some songs fit, but also I had to listen to it extra hard because a lot of the syncopated stuff, when you start piling syncopation on top of syncopation, it sounded too jumbled. So it's like I had to be swift with using my stems to be able to take one drum part out or a percussion part and EQ, and it was really tricky, but I did it. But it was a different way and a different mindset, and mixing as opposed to mixing regular pop songs. It's
Dwayne,
more
do you have
of rhythmic and vibe and feel.
Dwayne, do you have a list of questions we're gonna ask Max, or do you want to go like by country and analyze the type of music?
No, I had a list, but again, like I was telling everybody, and those that haven't been on our show, we do have an outline, even though we don't follow it a lot of times. But our outline is basically a roadmap just to keep us, if we get stuck, to have something to talk about. So it's not like I'm going to go right down the list and it's interview type, because I was going to go to because my next question was being, again, to do a Latino kind of party, I want to do it justice. I don't like half doing stuff and just getting by, because only kind of music I know is be like your pop songs, your really mainstream songs. I don't know the downright dirty. So I'm here to learn. And since he mentioned, it's something I didn't even think about. I didn't know when they say we were like Latin music, I have to like not only worry about the different subgenres, I have to look at the different, what do you say, cultures? Because I didn't realize there were so many cultures or boroughs, however you want to put it, that I had to also look at, because certain people like this kind of Latin. So I didn't realize that was a thing. So that's why I wanted to go next.
You ready? You ready, Max? We're gonna start with the Caribbean first.
Oh,
and,
definitely my favorite.
My favorite also. We're gonna start with the Dominican Latin people.
Yes.
What do you suggest is played for Dominicans?
For the younger Dominicans, it'll be dembow.
Now, explain what dembow is to the public.
Dembow is the party Caribbean style music that sounds similar to the dance and prance music that you hear at the Brooklyn Festival for from Jamaica or even from Haiti. It's similar to compa, and it's similar to
it's like a fast reggaeton.
It's like a fast reggaeton, and the word dembow comes from the Shabba Ranks reggae song Dembow. Dembow, 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 bo. That Shabba Ranks song where he says dembow, that's where they got the phrase from. And what's funny is, even though dembow in the Dominican Republic does have some reggae roots to it, like the way reggaeton does, they just sped up the BPMs on it and made it more into a fast, like party, pump your fist in the air style music, but for the Caribbean in DR. So
we got
that's
dembow.
what it's all about.
What's the next genre there for the Dominicans?
It's either típico and perico ripiao, which is like merengue. But thing is, those merengues are using traditional instruments like the tambora, which is kind of like a lap drum, and a guiro, which is like that little that like the instrument that's held in the left hand, and you have a scraper in the right hand.
Yeah, the
which creates that nice little. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also you got congas, and also either a guitar or a cuatro or even a piano that's involved.
And the accordion.
Accordion as well. Yeah, thank you very much for that.
Big time. For the typical Dominican music, you gotta have. It's basically an accordion up front, and then a bunch of drums behind it, and it's like the music of the town, like the music of
El barrio.
right, like the neighborhood music.
Yes, exactly.
So
And what is this? What style of music? I was trying to take notes, but I couldn't get.
Merengue,
It's
merengue, typical merengue,
All right.
typical.
it's called típico, yeah, exactly. Or perico ripiao, which is kind of like more of the downtown colloquialism of merengue, but it I think it literally means ripped parrot.
Right.
But it's like
Which is weird.
which is weird, but at the same time, that's where you get, let's say, it's similar to the term that's used for, let's say, heavy metal, and you got thrash metal. You can almost, there's a difference. Same thing with
yeah.
merengue and perico ripiao. Merengue is kind of like a regular dun, 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 like suavemente.
Like
by Elvis
suavemente
Crespo.
is a regular merengue.
Yeah, that's
Right.
your go-to merengue for non-Latino DJs, pretty much. So, but then when you got perico ripiao, then you know the deep cuts of how to get the Dominican crowd moving.
And that's really Dominican.
Yes.
And
But
the next
also,
one is
but also you got Puerto Rican merengue, which is more like Grupo Mania and
Right.
Máquina, which it
yeah,
uses
you can't
more-
play that with Dominicans.
No, you can't play Puerto Rican.
You
merengue.
got to stick to the Dominican singers, Dominican bands, and it's basically that I find that the Dominicans are the only ones that are very like a little bit of a pain in the ass when it comes to music. If it's not their own music, they'll get mad at you. They don't want to hear Colombian. They don't want to hear anything, any else type of music. Their music is dembow, merengue, and bachata.
Yeah, bachata too. Bachata is another genre, another major genre that will get the Dominican crowd moving.
Yep.
Especially old school. Where I found the term that's used, that's coined for a fast bachata, which is bachata rengue, which is like, it has like that little pick guitar, beep 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 beep. But it sounds really fast. That the major artist that you want to play for bachata style merengue, it is Anthony Santos, and he plays a lot of the fast tempo bachata. And then you got more of the romantic bachata, which is
Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo. Is his last name Santos or
I think so. Romeo Santos, right?
Romeo Santos. He's from the group Aventura, as well as other groups as well. So that's another major.
That's the Dominican.
Yes.
If you stick to those things, you're golden. But like I said, you can't play anything else from another country in the Dominican Republic because they look at you weird.
Yes.
Then we're gonna go a little
Wait
bit.
a minute, hold on, before, because you remember, this is all new to me. So you going too fast. I'm trying to type.
That's it, though.
Sorry.
Dominican Republic is dembow.
So what is bachata? Because you broke down dembow and then merengue typical. Now bachata. So what's the difference, or what is the characteristics of that?
It's bachata. It's Bachata. Bachata.
Bachata.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of
really only type. I think usually it's only one type. Really, it's very romantic.
Yeah, it's a romantic close-up dance style, which could be kind of like waltzy at the same time. It's not really a waltz, but it's more like a nice rhythmic waltz for romantic style. There's no let's say party bachatas you can dance to. It's always romantic, or somebody breaking up, or somebody cheating on another person. That's all the storylines behind the bachata music, so to speak.
And it's not slow dancing. It's more, like you said, a nice flow to their dancing.
Yes, it's nice. It's a nice flow to it. Not too slow, not too fast. Actually,
yes.
It used to be the type of music you used to play in the bars back in like in the Dominican Republic, like in the corner little bars and stuff. That's the type of music that they played. So that's
then for
basically it for
merengues,
the Dominican.
Yeah, and definitely also for merengue, some artists you want to pay attention to is also Eladio Romero Santos, which is an old school merengue singer. Fefita de la Gran, she's a female lead for a Perico Ripiao band. Banda Real, which is another classic band from Dominican Republic. They have all live recordings. They don't even have no studio recordings of their music, which is kind of weird. So
horrible.
But people will dance to it, and they all sound drunk at the same time. So
yeah, it sounds horrible. It's hard to find like good typical merengue that's recorded in a studio. You're very lucky.
Yeah. And then you have those type of merengues which are like really gimmicky. Like there's a merengue for Thanksgiving, there's a merengue for Christmas, there's a merengue for the New Year's. So it's you can always
Yeah.
Yeah.
find merengues for all types of days
The
of the year.
merengue is
So
the national song for the Dominicans.
yes, yes.
That's basically, but they have, like I said, two types. They have the typical, and then they have the ones you hear on the radio, from like the big names,
Yeah.
like Elvis Crespo.
And also don't forget Dembow for the younger crowd. So and also
Yeah.
try to find a clean version because you don't want the grandmother slapping you over the head with a chancla. So
I could barely understand any of them anyway.
yeah, right.
Because that's what really bothers me by doing foreign language songs, because I don't know that they're saying bad words, but it's people that know, and then they looking at me funny. So
Yeah, exactly. So awesome.
I think we're gonna go to Puerto Rico now.
Yes, Puerto Rico is rather easy. You want to take the lead in that, Willie, real quick?
Actually, I'll do the Cuban one. You do the Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay. I'll do the Puerto Rican one. Actually, we should do Cuba first because Puerto Rico does follow Cuba in terms of salsa, because salsa did originate in Cuba
All right.
originally. So yeah.
So Cuba is a little complicated because I am actually Cuban. So we dance to everything. The great thing about doing parties for Cubans is you can play merengue, you can play salsa, you can play cumbia, you can play all different types of Latin music for Cubans, and they'll usually dance, except for any Mexican food, any Mexican like music. That's like that usually stays towards the Mexican, but Cubans will dance to anything. Um, their main music from the old country uh, is called charanga.
Jaranga, yep.
Now, charanga music is a typical salsa style music with violins, um, and then they also have the
And some
conga
flutes.
and flutes. It's a very classical salsa from like the old school, and that's called charanga, CHA, and that's like a Cuban, real Cuban music.
Was
spell
Gloria
that out.
Estefan from Cuba?
She was, but I think she was more of like the next generation where
Yes.
that actually grew up in Miami, and their Miami Sound Machine was the name of the band, and they're the ones that came out with the song the conga. So the conga is actually very Cuban, but it's mostly pertaining to the carnivals. They used to play that a lot in the carnivals, kind of like samba is for Brazil.
Yes.
The conga is the one for the Cubans. But the Cubans' main music is pretty much anything you want to play, throw at them, they'll dance to it. But their main music, if you could find it, usually it's charanga music. It starts with a CHA, and it's a very salsa, violins, flute. It's very complicated music, and it's the old school music. And I think pretty much for Cuban music, that's about it. I mean, we're easy to please. As long as there's alcohol involved, we'll dance to anything.
And if you have a real older Cuban crowd, and you don't forget the danzón.
Oh, the
As well.
danzón is a slow song for Cubans. That's rarely played unless you have like a crowd of like people that are 80 years old.
Yeah, it's like people used to dance to bossa nova back in Tito Puente days. So it's like you don't hardly hear it anymore, bossa nova
Right.
style music. So the same thing applies to danzón and older Cuban crowds as well.
Yeah, but Cubans will play to they'll dance to reggaeton, they'll dance to salsa, merengue, cumbia, pretty much any type of music. Like I said, they're easy to please. Puerto Rico.
So before we
Yes.
go into that, because
Yeah.
remember, I'm a newbie. I'm trying to type and get all this down, and then try to spell these Spanish names correctly. So
Dwayne, I'll give you a hint. When we're all done with the show, you got to watch it back all over again.
Yeah.
Just pause it.
but I'm also remember at the end, I always try to do some kind of talk about what we had talked about.
Yeah.
Try to bring it all home. But
Yes, yes,
merengue, is that how you say it?
Merengue.
Mhm.
We already
Merengue.
discussed that. So it's basically the same popular kind of song that's the national song for the Dominicans. But what is salsa? So can you break that down to characteristics of salsa?
Salsa came. It was a mixture of local music with African. Well, it came from Africa.
Yes,
And
yes.
then we took
like
it.
a tribal beat.
We took it and it kind of mixed with the Aborigines and stuff of
Yeah.
Cuba, and then little by little, like that stuff got mixed, and from that came guaracha, which is it's a certain type of music, and then from guaracha came salsa. I think that's the way it came, but
Yeah, I think from Guarachar, my grandfather actually sang that type of music as well because he came from the bolero era from Cuba and then migrated to New York City and worked for RCA Records for a while and created 30 albums. Don't
Cool.
forget, you also have Tumbao Moderno from Cuba as well, which is actually the core salsa beat that you hear in Puerto Rico and in almost every salsa song, because it all originates from a clave beat, which is either a 3/2 clave beat or a 2/3 clave beat. Okay, that's
blah
like
blah
like that.
blah blah blah
Mhm.
blah 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 blah. That
That's
type
the
of
three.
beat.
That's the 3/2 clave beat that all instruments in a salsa band follow. And I don't know exactly who coined the phrase salsa from tumbao moderno, which means modern tumbao, and tumbao means the beat. But there was a cat from New York City named Nacho Sanabria who worked with La Fania, and he actually has an old school video online of him claiming to coin the term salsa during the 60s, because salsa literally means sauce. It's a mixture of all the instruments acting as one instrument in a song. So yeah, the African influence, like Willie said, from the drums, which is the earth style instruments, and then you have the European influence, which is the brass instruments and the piano as well, which all came together in Cuba as well as in Puerto Rico, and then created like this whole awesome mixture of beats and rhythms and
How about the accordion? That would be from Eastern Europe too, wouldn't it?
I think the Cubans don't use the accordions too much. It's
No.
the Dominicans that use it. But the
yes,
Cubans are more big band.
yes,
Yeah.
Like it was more of like a big band, and then it converted over to like little by little every year, every like century, like it kind of like merged. Like it became salsa. I think the Puerto Ricans took it and it became salsa.
yes, yes. It became salsa in Puerto Rico, but mainly it began as charanga and tuba moderno in Cuba as
Right.
well. And then, but mainly the accordion came from Germany, from polka music, which
Yeah.
influenced a lot of Mexican music as well. So, which
I
is
was
a
just
big
gonna
thing.
say that.
But we didn't cross the sea, we didn't cross the Caribbean yet into Mexico. That's another complicated subject.
Yeah,
right there.
we'll get there.
So what about did you say Cubian?
Cumbia.
Cumbia.
Oh, cumbia, yeah.
Cumbia. Yeah.
We're not there yet.
Yeah, we're not there. We're not there yet.
Oh,
So
I
that's
thought you
another-
mentioned that under Cuba. Cuba.
No, I said
Cubans will
Cu-
dance to anything.
No, I said Cuba. I said Cuba like the Spanish style Cuba.
Yeah.
Like,
All
that's
right,
like Cuba.
so I could
yeah,
take
yeah.
that and put that
Yeah.
down.
Cubans are easy.
Yeah.
So are Puerto Ricans.
Yes.
So
But
if I'm doing,
I remember. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
so I was gonna say if I'm doing the main ones from the Dominican would be Dembo, merengue, and bachata.
Yep.
And then the main ones for Cuba, what would be merengue, salsa,
Charanga.
charanga, and reggaeton.
Yes.
Yeah, you can play all that stuff. Yep.
Yeah, you have Cuban reggaeton as well. You have Puerto Rican reggaeton. You have Cuban reggaeton as well.
You just don't want to play no Mexican music for the Cubans.
No,
No,
it's different.
there's
They
no
don't
music.
like that.
It's a different part of the world.
Some of
Yes.
them like the song La Chona, but that's as far as it can go. So
Yeah.
Okay. I think I'm ready for the next part.
Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is easy. It's just like Cuba. It's just they love romantic salsa.
Yeah.
Like Frankie Ruiz. It would be romantic salsa.
Eddie Santiago.
And yeah, and the big salsa bands come from Puerto Rico. I find like Gran Combo.
Oh yeah.
Romeo
You got
Santos.
Romeo Santos is actually Dominican, right?
Yeah, but that's the
Dominican.
bachata.
He's Dominican. He's a bachata guy.
Yes.
But Puerto Rico, from what I've known all the years is they love their salsa. They love their classic salsa, the Fania All Stars. They love all that Tito Nieves. You know, like those guys. Those are all
and
the Puerto Rican stars.
and Tito Rojas también. He's like the almost like the leader in the Puerto Rican movement of salsa during the early '90s and late '80s.
There's a lot of
But
Titos.
I think it began with Gran Combo instead because they really pushed it
Yeah.
forward
Grand
along
Combo's good.
along with La Fania. Yeah, yeah. And
Come
then you
on.
have the Dominican El Canario that crossed over into Puerto Rico and started doing salsa music himself. So
Right.
he didn't do too much merengues, but there was a guy named Jose Alberto. He was nicknamed the Canary because he always played a fake air flute during his
He whistles.
salsa jams. Yes, he whistles as well. And then and the guy that led La Fania from New York City out of Puerto Rico would be Johnny Pacheco. And then you have his whole gang of people that followed him and created all these awesome records and concerts like Ray Barretto, Hector Lavoe,
Yeah, there's a lot of salsa stars in Puerto
a lot
Rico.
big time salsa stars.
Now,
Yep.
will the Puerto Ricans dance to reggaeton?
Old school Puerto Ricans may lean towards the old school salsa, especially salsa moda, which is the salsa from the 80s or the romantic salsa, and a lot of La Fania. But it's like I find that there's a split between the younger Puerto Ricans that will follow Bad Bunny until the end of the age. And then you got the older Puerto Ricans that will like, oh, Bad Bunny is cool, but can you play some real salsa music, So it's a split now. Ever since Bad Bunny came onto the scene, and even with Daddy Yankee and Ivy Queen back in the day that first popped onto the scene, they killed at the salsa scene back in New York City. Because my wife and I, when we were teaching back in the day, we were literally touring the clubs in New York City and showing off our salsa dancing moves and trying to get new clients. And as soon as the reggaeton artists came onto the scene, a lot of the club DJs ended up catering to that kind of music, which gave people the excuse to grind each other to death, throughout the night. And then a lot of the class in terms of, formally dressing to a salsa club really took a backseat to reggaeton. So, but in terms of catering to Puerto Ricans, you have the younger people that are okay with salsa but are big reggaetoneros, and then you got the older generation, which is less reggaeton but more salsa and merengue.
Classic, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, will they dance to like bachata also?
Yes, of course. They love Romeo Santos, Aventura. They don't like, let's say, Medicina del Amor, which is like a real classic salsa, which is a real classic bachata from Dominican Republic. You don't want to play too many deep cuts from Dominican Republic because Puerto Ricans may not vibe with that, So, but they
So
do.
it's like 90% salsa. You know what I mean? The next would be like reggaeton,
Yes,
maybe a
for
merengue
younger
here and
crowd.
there.
Yeah,
Maybe like a suavemente here and there. But they're not really a merengue crew, right? They're more of a salsa.
more salsa, more salseros, and more on the reggaeton side as well. These days, I think it's more heavy reggaeton lately because of Bad Bunny's influence.
Right. But it's a slower reggaeton. It's not like dembow. Dembow
No.
super fast. The
No,
Puerto Rican
Debo is more like reggaeton and caffeine, pretty much.
Yeah, it's reggaeton on steroids.
Yep, exactly.
With really distorted bass, which is horrible.
Yes.
So
You
the
want
Puerto Ricans pretty much just stick with anything salsa.
Classic salsa, yeah.
Yes. And you do have some native Puerto Rican merengue bands, which is also I can name them by a couple names, like Grupo Manilla, La Máquina, I believe. And they will also vibe with Los Hermanos Rosario. Like there's like some Dominican bands that will transliterate themselves into the Puerto Rican culture as well. So it's like they don't. Puerto Ricans won't go too deep into Dominican culture, not so much as Dominicans would in terms of them, the perico ripiao and all the deep merengues, So they rather, like we said before, with Willie, and they'll lean more towards Puerto Rican style merengue, and then reggaeton, and then salsa. So
Okay.
it
So
gets a little
merengue
complicated
it
sometimes.
seemed like that's the go-to subgenre that seemed like they'll work with any of those cultures.
Yes, and it's easy to dance to as well. There's nothing complicated with merengue. It's really easy. It's like a 1-2 step, rocking the hips back and forth and holding your partner, doing a couple of terms and having a great time with the music.
That's why Suavemente is so popular. So it's
Mhm.
easy to dance to.
I've been playing that for 20 years. It's crazy.
We try not to.
Yes.
So
Well,
what's out of all of these cultures? So what would be for like American DJ? So which one of these cultures would we most likely run into? Since there's so many subcultures, it's like which one is
Depends on the East Coast or the West Coast. It's different.
yes.
So most likely, since let's stick with the East Coast, since we all New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Ohio.
Yeah, East Coast, I think you'll run into a heavy mixture of Puerto Rican and Dominicans.
Okay.
When you go more south, Cubans will take over from Georgia down, and then also there's more like Cubans and Mexicans more in the south than there are Puerto Ricans in the north, I feel.
Mm.
I don't know if Willie agrees with me, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
I do
In
definitely.
terms of Miami, that's Cuban territory right there. So
Yeah.
charanga, salsa, and even the Cuban style salsa as well, which has more violins happening in it, which is a charanga influence.
Mm-hmm. So what is the group? What group or subculture with the group? The ones with the hats that plays like the big guitars, like 3 or 4
Mexico.
of them. The mariachi group.
Mariachis,
Yeah.
yes.
All right.
So where
Did
would
we
they
do?
fall?
We did Cuba, we did Dominican Republic, and we did Puerto Rico. That's the Caribbean there, right?
Yeah, that's the Caribbean.
Did I forget anybody over there? No,
Oh
that's
no,
pretty
well you
much
got
it, right?
well you got the Haitians that I'm familiar with, which is compa, zouk, and then some other music styles from Haiti, which is actually Spanish influenced as well. And sometimes the Haitian music does creep into Dominican music as well. And you do also have a merengue style music in Haiti. I forgot the name of it. It could be compa as well, but it has
Hmm.
like that 1-2 beat to it as well. So because they both share the same island, so I can imagine both cultures sharing the same style foods as well as the music as well.
Well, I forgot to add for Puerto Ricans, freestyle.
Ah, yes.
Freestyle music. You got to have freestyle music for Puerto Ricans.
So what's that?
That's like the East Coast, USA, late 80s, early 90s Latin dance,
Oh, you're talking about breakdancing kind of.
like breakdancing freestyle, Coro, Cynthia, that stuff. They love freestyle.
Yes. It was like it's almost like the new wave synths that were involved with the late 80s music, like with New Shoes, for example, or even David Bowie for that matter. And a lot of that influenced freestyle music because there was like a lot of loops happening, a lot of synths, a lot of heavy lyrical vocals and stuff. Some of it was repetitive, but at the same time, it was super catchy and it really blew up the scene big time, especially in New York, Texas, and Florida as well.
Okay.
We're gonna go Mexican.
Yes. This is
How
we
many
should tackle the
subgenres are there?
We'll find out at the end of the show.
Because see, that's why I don't want to stray. If it's like 20 something, I don't want to go through 20 something.
That's why
you
I'm trying
remember,
to get through them quick.
Our crew is not gonna digest that, especially when the younger ones come at 10.
You can leave me out of Mexico because I am not a Mexican DJ and I do not know.
I
So
can
what's
cover
the-
that. I can
what's the-
cover Mexico for you real quick. So
Because I was going to say, what is the main thing that we need to, the groups that we really need to.
first, when you're doing Mexican weddings,
Mhm.
you have to know what part of Mexico they're from.
Okay.
You have, let's say, Mexican music to the American ear. If you're used to, let's say, you're listening to pop songs, and you hear country music, that's how Mexican music sounds to the Spanish listener from the Caribbean. It has the country feel to it because they always talk about stories of the land, of the culture, fights, marriages, breakups, but in a country style format, if you know what I mean. And then you have the genres that define that, which are norteño, which means northern music, rancheros, which means ranch music. You have corridos. I can't really translate that. How would you say corridos means in English?
I have no idea what even the genre is.
Yeah. Excuse me, corridos, which is spelled Corrido, is a genre of music in Mexico which has a nice fast pace to it, but it's really danceable. And you also have quebraditas. You
I know
also
what that is. That's
have,
fast.
yeah, that's fast as well. And then you have what else? Cumbia from Mexico as well, which is spelled Cumbia. And then you have the mariachi music and also rancheras, which is like the old school music you hear from the main singer that sings that type of music, which is Vicente Fernandez. And he talks about, like, Mexican victory over certain types of colonizers, as well as the history of Mexico and Mexican pride as well. And even some songs even address certain types of food, how lovely the women are.
What's
We
that
should go.
music? What's that music that goes? It's like fast.
I know exactly what you're
Is
talking
that
about.
punta or something? They call it or something?
Now, punta is music that's really native to Honduras.
Okay.
That's more like shore music or beach music, or la música de la playa, which is kind of like beach music.
Mm.
Let me just look up. Can you still see me in the screen?
Yep.
All right. Now I'm just going to my Mexican genres here on my iTunes section. I wanna address Willie's question concerning the jumpy style music from Mexican music.
Well, I think they
And
have a techno style music now, right?
I think that's sonero, which
Wait,
is
what?
almost like a slow cumbia, but it sounds almost like electronic at the same time. It's called sonero,
Okay.
which is like a really heavy drawl of version of regular cumbia. I think the music that you're talking about, Willie, is maybe zapateado,
Mm.
which is like that has that up and down jumpy style music to it. And then you have also mariachi, like I said before. You also have huapango.
They have a lot of different types of music.
Yeah, it's
That's why
crazy.
I don't do that type of party because I won't do it.
Actually, the
I'll be
music you're talking
lost.
about, Willie, is called bandas.
Banda,
Yeah.
banda.
And then you have really deep country music, which is called duranguense.
You got me.
And then you have banda regional, and then you have also other fast beat music. And then you also have the type of music that was actually being outlawed in Mexico. I think it was quite recently, which is music that pays tribute to the cartels as well.
Hmm.
So
it sounds like Mexican music more so centers on storytelling.
yes, a lot of storytelling as well. Yep. And then also just
Where does
pretty much
Tribal come from?
tribal.
Yeah,
How would you spell that?
I think it's the one that sounds like a techno. It's like a
Oh, really?
techno cumbia.
I haven't heard of that, but I most likely I probably did, but didn't know how to name the
I think
actual
it's
genre.
Trivial. I think it is, I'm not. I think it might be with a B. Let's see.
Tribal?
Tribal.
Not sure. But also on top of the storytelling as well, certain types of Mexican music as well, especially rancheras, it's actually called drinking music, where the guys will get together at the bar, start pouring tequila shots and start singing along with songs, like how, like, and they start, let's say, gritando with the music, which is like when you hear the ay, 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 that part of Mexican music. That's
Yeah.
called they're yelling out with the music with their emotions, or crying out with the music as well, because they're feeling it so much that they want to cry with it while having their favorite drink with their family or with their friends. So Look it up on YouTube. It's interesting how they explain it, but I think it's called gritando, or to yell with the
See,
music, or to cry with
if
the
you
music.
ever do this type of party where you have an American bride and you have a Mexican groom or something, it's good to have the internet because they come up to you and ask you for stuff. Just look it up and play it. That's
Yes.
it. That's it. Just look it up and play it because it's not easy. I mean, when you're doing something like that, you're going into it blind. Make sure you have your Spotify. Make sure you have your internet handy. If not, you're screwed.
And I didn't do that for my first Mexican American wedding. This was almost like 15 years ago, and I took the job anyway because I guess I had a good price for them and they liked my music. So I ended up playing some American music for the American side, and then I switched it to salsa merengue and bachata for the Mexican side. Nobody got up. And I was like wondering to myself, what's going on here? I'm not playing Spanish music for my Spanish peoples.
Right.
And then one person came up to me and says, "Hey, can you play this group called Quepas de la Sierra?" And as soon as I played it, it had the jumpy Mexican feel to it, which is like a party style music in Mexico. And as soon as I heard that song, and I was like, wait a minute, I am playing the wrong sounding music for a different Spanish crowd. So, and I learned that the hard way. So I ended up switching my whole vibe with the crowd, and I slowly got all the crowd dancing on the dance floor. And I started playing similar genres to that first request as well. So it was like a real fast switch up.
So getting
So
to
that that's
mainstream
Mexico.
artists. So where would the mainstream artists fit into all of these subgenres? You know, like your Pit Bulls, your Daddy Yankee, or Bad Bunny, and all those. Or would they still
That's
be
a good question.
American, more so American still?
Pitbull would be the bridge between Spanish speakers and English speakers because he does a lot of Spanglish songs.
Mhm.
So if you want to transition back to American, I think that's almost like a safe way to do it. Like throw in some Pitbull genres in there, and then let's say go into a Rihanna or like or even a dance club American hit as well. So. Or even as reggaeton, because a lot of them, I find that a lot of American people like to hear Bad Bunny, even though they might not understand what he's saying, but it's always like a party style music to transition to for the American listener.
So Bad Bunny be like your reggaetons.
Yes, yes, yes. His most recent ones too, so.
Okay.
But it's interesting because he ended up doing several salsa songs as well with his recent album, which is
Mhm.
interesting. So he was paying a lot of tribute to the old school salsa artists with his Baile Olvidable, I think it's called.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And also La Mundanza something. I forgot the name of the other song, but real classic salsa hits on his latest album for Bad Bunny. So even though Bad Bunny's not really a salsa singer, and he really upset a lot of old school people that appreciated old school salsa, but he ended up having the younger crowd get into salsa dancing because of that, because of his new album that incorporated salsa music with his other reggaeton hits as well. So it's interesting how that happened.
Right. Let's get to the chat because we've been kind of like ignoring them the whole period, and then we'll be expecting another group to come in, and I'm hoping that
Yeah, they'll
the
be coming
group from
shortly.
Start to Spin, Diego will be here because he's into the Spanish he's a Spanish
Reggae.
DJ. So
Yeah, awesome, awesome.
And
Yeah,
he's into
so-
the reggaeton, and
what was you saying?
he's into the reggaeton.
Okay.
I think I covered all of the Mexican stuff. So it's a lot of party music. It's a lot of pride music that deals with Mexican culture.
Mm.
It's a lot of music about the women, how good they look, right down to the food, and as well as being in love, as well as breaking up. Very similar to other, Caribbean genres as well. So and then as well as Mexican history and paying tribute to those who died for the country in previous wars, like especially for Cinco de Mayo, So
Max,
Okay.
what about Guatemala, like Honduras and Salvador? They're all like next to each other.
yes, yes, for those kind of countries, I find that almost Honduras takes the lead in type of music because they will listen to music that's mainly played on the shore or beach music, which is called punta, Punta, and it has a real cool Caribbean vibe to it. It's really similar to, like I said before, almost like an Afrobeat style, jumpy, fast-paced music as well.
Now, will they
Uh,
dance to salsa and bachata and any of that stuff, or just strictly like their area of music?
their area of music, but they do appreciate all the other genres. I think the more north you go in Central America, they have more of an appreciation of Mexican music. The more south, you'll have more of an appreciation for um, the
The
influences from
Caribbean,
From Colombia or the Caribbean when you go more
right?
towards the shore.
So like
So
Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Panama,
yes,
when you're
yes.
going down to Panama.
In Panama, what's interesting about Panama is the general was from there as well, and he had an influence on dembow as well as reggaeton music. He was
Yeah,
one of the original reggaeton artists before. So,
right.
and Panama actually deserves a lot of credit in terms of almost inventing the reggaeton genre. You know.
Okay. So let's get to the chat and then go into, because there was a lot of information put out there. But it's one
Yes.
thing to know the different genres, but it's another thing to be able to execute it, especially if you're not a Spanish DJ, execute it properly at at an event. And then there's one question that I want to just go ahead and jump on um, after I do the check in with the chat. So we had DJ Reese. He was in the chat earlier. Then we have Kevin in the chat, and he's the one that have this question that I want to ask you afterwards. And then we have Dan Dan and Emily. I just assumed it would be Dan, but Dan and Emily, the shuffle couple, is in the chat. But Kevin had one. He has a Cinco de Mayo event at a restaurant next week, and he's been trying to get songs for Cinco de Mayo. And I always thought Cinco de Mayo, since it was Spanish, like Spanish, the 5th of May, I just assumed it was a Spanish holiday. Come to find out, it has nothing to do with Spanish. It's more so an American thing. So, for starters, for a Cinco de Mayo event, would you stick with just playing Latin music or a combination of Latin and American, or how would you handle that?
Good question.
It depends who you're playing for. It's like you have to take requests for the place you're going to be serving the Cinco de Mayo event. If it's a restaurant, if it's a nice Mexican restaurant that just simply is using Cinco de Mayo as a kind of like the facade for celebrating the event, and you want like a DJ playing the so-called Spanish music, you may want to stick with the Mexican genres for now. I mean, Cinco de Mayo does mark what I've been reading so far was some sort of Mexican victory over France concerning a town in Mexico called the Battle of Puebla. So that's Cinco de Mayo right there. But I don't think most people don't know what it is truly. So it's almost like a holiday, which is a Spanish holiday per se, like the way you would consider Mardi Gras to be a French holiday in the South. So, like, how would you, what genres would you suggest, really, or would it depend on the crowd that's attending? So,
I think you have to do a mix of everything.
yeah,
Yeah, it depends what establishment he's at. If it's a strictly Mexican bar, then you've got to stick with. I mean, even though it's a Mexican bar, you could go Mexican, English, any Latin music with English music or American music in it. That's what you got to do.
yeah.
I mean, unless they just hire him to play Latin music, then that's when he has to do his homework.
Yeah, maybe he'll put that in the chat. What kind of scenario they asked that he's DJing with? I know it's a restaurant, but I don't know anything more than a restaurant.
Yeah.
If it's like a restaurant setting that doesn't have, let's say, a dancing area, you may want to settle for the Mexican genres per se. Maybe stick with the cumbias, like the ones that may be familiar with everybody, like Selena, style cumbia, and maybe some like Vicente Fernandez, which he sings a lot of the rancheras and stuff like that. Um, you have to do the research and what type of crowd is attending. So it's hard to say what specific genres to suggest, and it's always going to be different per venue and what exactly they are celebrating. So
yeah. So Kevin was saying, that was another question that he had. So, but he was saying the restaurant normally plays music regularly in there. So should he just mix up regular U.S. music and some Latin American hits and Latin? So, stick with the mainstream ones like I was saying earlier.
Mm-hmm. If it's American, I mean, I would go American and Latin. Try to get their top hits, the set like the middle '80s up till today, and then go with the American music. You do some disco, and because they love disco music too. I mean, I did a bunch of Cinco de Mayo events, and one thing is they loved disco music.
I think it's just an excuse to drink.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that too.
So according to him, he said he DJ'd their Valentine's party. So I'm going to assume that they was Caucasian. So it's more American as opposed to being like the traditional Spanish, Latino kind of crowd.
Yeah, then keep with the party hits then. If they're looking for the party vibe for a Cinco de Mayo and to keep it lively, maybe just stick with the party style music, from
Throw
like
some Pitbull in there.
the Pitbull
Play
right down to
Oye Como Va, Maria
Santana,
Santana.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like with Willie's suggestion, that sprinkles the Spanish vibe onto that as well. So yeah.
Okay. And I see Buddy slid in from the other show.
Yep.
And then I saw
Buddy
DJ
said,
Troll
Buddy.
somewhere. Yep. He waved his hand. And then Buddy says he asked the couples, they will give you some songs that would help with the music from other countries. And then Kevin wanted to know, is there a list of most popular Latin hits?
Depends what part of the country.
Yeah, it depends what type of part of the country. Spotify actually has, excuse me, some great lists internationally. Let's say, for example, if you're doing a list for a Honduran crowd, you'll see that they also like certain English hits as well as the hits that are native to that country, as well as reggaeton and some salsa. So when you do the research on Spotify per country, especially if you single out, let's say, the name of the country, and then let's say, for example, type in Nicaraguan dance hits, you will also see involved in that other dance hits as well that is popular in that country as well. So you'll be surprised what you find that will be making a person native to the country move around and dance.
I belong to promo only, and once a month they have, I guess, the top hits of reggaeton and the top hits of Latin music. So each month I download them because a lot of the schools I do, and even a lot of the events I do, they're asking for one or two Mexican or Hispanic music or Latin music, and I have it. And reggaeton they'll ask for, so I have that too. I mean, I don't know the artist, I don't know the song, but they'll say, "Do you have it?" I type it in. There it is. Oh, can you play it?
Because I was trying to look real quick. I know BPM Supreme has a Latin section.
Yeah.
And I was trying to see, because when I did the country event this past Saturday, I had typed in top country hits, and I think he has a subscription to DJ Record Pools as well as I do, and I know Heavy Hitters had, like, I guess you could say their monthly was downloads or whatever. It had nothing but country hits, and I'm thinking they have it somewhere on their website too. So I'll go with maybe that's going to the charts. Let's stick with the the top 100, top 50 Latin hits, and
Yes,
then move on from there.
Yes, yes.
Let me see who else. And then DJ Ready Fred 3767 is in the chat.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, what's up?
A couple, shuffle couples here.
Okay, and then Kevin was wondering, says if there's any chance we could bring up one and then check to see if it's a good guide. That's what I was trying to do while you all were talking. But while we're doing that, while I could look this up, we got all these subgenres. I know that Diego speaks about doing quinceañeras. Is that what you call it? Like the Sweet 16s? So
Sweet 15.
Or 15. All right.
Yeah.
So what kind of songs out of all the songs, subgenres that we mentioned, what would fit good for those kind of parties?
Depends if it's a Mexican quinceañera or like a Caribbean quinceañera.
So 9 times out of 10, if you're in Cleveland, Ohio, they'll still play a factor into it.
If it's Mexican quinceañera, it's different than a Puerto Rican or a Cuban quinceañera.
I'll tell you, Dwayne,
Colombian.
Dwayne, every time I did a quinceañera, the family would supply me with the music, and they would say, all right, and they would have it broken down. This is her intro. I mean, because a quinceañera is just like a wedding. You have to be dead on every second. It's like the entrance, the flower dance, changing the shoes. I mean, everything is, it's just like a wedding, but it's for a 15-year-old who's now becoming a woman.
Yes.
My suggestion is go to the practice.
Yeah. I mean, well, like I said, the family, I did 5 of them, and each one, all 5 of them supplied me with the music. And what was nice is they had an MC, so I didn't have to worry about MCing it at all.
Awesome.
The hardest part for me is rolling the R's in their names. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't do that,
All right, because I'm trying to.
But take your time. Take your time.
Actually, Kevin, there's a section in DJ. Oops, let me close this, and let me go to my side. Actually, with DJ Pool Records, when you sign in, let me take this off and sign in, so y'all don't see my stuff. There's a section that has Latin records.
Where?
DJpoolrecords.com.
Oh, okay.
And
That's a website that we go to. You get a lot of music.
Because
it comes all the different record pools are in there, and you pay one price.
Yeah, I'm trying to get. Yeah, I clicked on that, and so I guess you just have to go through and listen to each one. I see
that's
the
the problem.
because remember I say that right? Dembo.
Yeah, Dembo.
Remember that's the young people's. Right? That's the young people song.
But if you or I listen to it, Dwayne, it all sounds the same to us.
It does.
They listen to it. There's a different meaning behind each song.
Yes.
I mean, the beat might be a little bit different, but it's we're interpreting it a totally different way than if it's a Dominican or if it's a Mexican, like Will said. They're interpreting it a totally different way than we do.
You asked before, Dwayne, about the quinceañeras.
Yeah.
The structure I know that the Caribbean one is, if I remember correctly, is they have a honorable court come
Yes.
out, okay, first.
Yep.
Then she enters the room with a boyfriend or some kind of
Chamberlain.
yeah,
Yes.
Chamberlain. See it, and then once she walks in, I believe, do they do the changing of the shoes and then she dances with the father first?
Yes, you have the La Corona or the tiara crowning,
Right.
exchange of the
She sits down
shoes.
in this big ass chair,
Yes.
and they
Yep.
put a crown on her. They change her shoes, and
And
then now,
sometimes an heirloom is passed from the grandmother to the daughter as well.
okay,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then she gets up and she dances with the father, right?
Yep.
Then
Then
after that, there's usually some form of show with the honorable court, right, Max?
yes.
Yeah, like a little surprise court dance or even a waltz dance with the Chamberlain that escorted her in.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a big little show afterwards, and then after that is usually they go back to the table, right? After the show.
Yes, and then you got the toasts and certain types of speeches from the elderly in the family before dinner served.
Right.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you have the cake cutting, you gotta sing happy birthday. And there's also the candlelight ceremony. I think is it 16 candles or 15 candles?
That's actually an American influence. It's not really involved with quinceañeras, but it's almost sometimes that happens. It depends on the family. Sometimes parents don't want it to happen because they haven't experienced it in their version of a quinceañera, in an older tradition version of it. But sometimes they'll incorporate a 16 candle ceremony.
Takes
or even
forever.
50. Yeah,
The roses.
yeah.
That's a
ro-
Mexican thing, right?
That's a Mexican and Filipino thing as well. Filipinos have a quinceañera, but it's called a debut instead,
Okay.
Hmm.
It's
with
the
a
one I-
debutante.
the last quinceanera I did, they came in, or she came in, then she danced, changing the shoes, danced with her dad, danced with her mom, danced with her grandfather, and then danced with her grandmother, and then danced with the court. I mean, it spectacular.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And the parents are also heavily involved in the music as well.
Yes.
Because
And-
everybody attends, a quinceañera. So
They basically they had everything laid out perfect for me, and like I said, they had the MC. Everything was just. But again, it's just like a wedding. You have to be hitting the bullseye every time.
yep, exactly. That's good that you had to work with an MC as well, which helps board
And he-
make the event flow smoother for you. So
He was funny. You know what he told me? I can't wait till you can play some rock and roll. He said, throw some Kiss on her. So he said, I hate this.
oh yeah,
music."
Kiss.
Started laughing.
All right,
Well,
going back.
little Ace Frehley too, right?
Yep, going back to Kevin. If you're struggling, I know people crap on this group, but see, this is where they're very helpful. If you're clueless and not sure where to go when you're DJing a certain situation, I always go to crate hackers. That's why people crap on them about having, they're just playlist people.
No,
But at
no,
the same-
no.
But at the
No,
same
you-
time, if you stuck, because
Mm-hmm.
again, crate hackers put together, they just don't, it's not one person just putting together a playlist. On Tuesday nights, just before Buddy's show at 9 o'clock, on Twitch at 8 o'clock, there's DJs from all over the world. They have a topic, and they all sit together and they vote on songs or suggest songs. And then at the end of the live stream, they'll go and the songs that have the most, votes or popular songs, they put all those songs in a list and then try to put it in mixable order for you. So here are some of
Really?
the songs.
That's Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesdays at 8 o'clock on Twitch, and it's the crate hackers.
Nice.
Yep. So you learn a lot, even though people crap on them, but you can learn a lot just being with other DJs, hearing what's popular that's going on in different parts of the world or the country, that either a trend that's coming up to your point or what's going out. So it's nice just to sit there and just listen to people go back and forth. But here are some of the songs that's on there. Let me just blow it up so you can see it better. But here's one of the crates. I can Kevin, I can download the Spotify playlist and now I'll send it to you. And therefore you will have it. And then
Now,
also, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Sorry. No.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention another tool to use, right? I'm not much of a country music DJ, but I did a country music wedding out in PA, off of 78. It was near almost near Harrisburg.
Wow.
And they gave me a pretty good playlist to go by. But thing is, they hired me for an extra hour to play because there was, they just wanted to keep the party vibe going, and I was running out of ideas. And there were big time line dancers to different songs, and I had country music, but I had a lot of the slow dancing country music. So it just so happens I had the AI Gemini on my phone, and I told Gemini, listen, I'm a DJ. I'm not much of a country DJ. The last song that I played was "Man, I Feel Like a Woman" by Shania Twain. What's the next song I should play after that? It gave me 3 suggestions on what to play after that, and it kept the party going with that. So just in case you get stuck with a particular genre, you may want to confer with your AI app if you have it on your phone to see what songs it will suggest for the song that you're playing for that event that you may not be familiar with. So,
and if you have Virtual DJ 2026, you don't even have to go to your phone. You can just type it in, because that's what I did to get my country songs, like during dinner time, cocktail hour, and all that. You don't even have to leave your DJ software.
Interesting. That's awesome. Yep.
I think my virtual DJ is 2009. I think it's my virtual DJ.
Watermelon Crawls like the Cupid Shuffle for country music. It's a great song, and everybody gets up and dances to that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, you're in Carlisle or Shippensburg? So they're close to Harrisburg.
I think so. I forgot. This was like a couple years ago. So I was hired for an event out there, and then I took it just to help cover my Google Ads costs, and then once they hired me for the extra hour, and I was like, ooh, I'm running out of country ideas. So
wasn't ready for this.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, we do have South America to cover. We got time for that. So
yep. I was just figuring, because there's still a lot. That's why I was asking how many subgenres are there. And there's so many. I was like, because remember, we have next week and the week after that, then the week after that. So let's give them like small chunks.
Oh, yeah,
so
sure,
therefore
sure,
we don't lose them.
Yeah.
And then
Max, I think the next big one would be Colombia.
Colombia is the next big one. Yep. Exactly. Yep.
But a couple of other quick things to kind of like help Kevin out. Let me shorten this because it's the other thing. Don't forget, because we had talked about this back in our earlier show. If you also get stuck with an event, a lot of people jump on Facebook and ask, what should I play at a bike event? Or what should I play at this cat dog event? This is website called Playlist Miner. And it's playlistminer.playlistmachinery.com. And I'll put the link and stuff in the description. This one, if you have a Spotify Spotify account, you'll link this to your Spotify account. And then whatever kind of songs you're looking for, you type that in. Let's say we're doing Cinco de Mayo. So I'll type in, on the wrong window. Cinco de Mayo dance floor. I say favorites. And what it would do,
playlist?
What it'll do is it'll go through all the playlists that's inside of Spotify and take the top 100s of how many times they see it in all these different Spotify playlists.
Interesting. Okay.
And then we also showed Algorithm. That was another crate hacker AI app that once you get these songs and you make your playlist, you can just take that playlist, go to Algorithm, and remember, crate hackers always talked about the 60-40 rule. 60% danceability, 60% popularity, 40% energy and mood. You set that in algorithm, and they'll find those dance tracks for you. So you don't have to spend a lot of time personally going through all these songs, listening to them. At least they'll narrow it down so you can be more focused on a small group as opposed to blindly just picking up hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs.
And then you're queuing it up live and seeing which one's right, and you're running out of time to bring the next song in, you know.
So here's some of the songs that they pulled up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like Ricky Martin, Leaving La Vida Loca, Tequila. So these are basically the popular songs that we pretty much would play anyway. So that's another way to try to kind of like narrow things down so you can get to the songs quicker, or at least give you a guideline.
Yes.
And again, the important thing is these are tools. This should not be the be all to end all, because I did that one time. Didn't prepare, just let AI pick the songs, and I was playing songs, but I didn't feel good about it because I didn't listen to it and know, because I like to, when I DJ, know that when I play a song that it's going to do what I intended to do. Either it's going to fill the floor, hype up the floor, or do something, as opposed to putting a song on blindly and it being a dud. And then you don't have a follow-up. Then you pick another song blindly and it being a dud. Make sure these are tools that you use along with you still having to listen and being familiar with the songs that you pick.
Country music is funny because it could start off great and then all of a sudden just drop out low. You know, it's like, and then usually with Latino music, if it's starting off slow, it's going to stay slow. If it's starting off fast, usually it's staying fast right through the whole song. It may even pick up even faster, you know. Country music is
a lot of slow songs in country music.
Oh yeah. It's that's its own little monster, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just it's hard because you could have a song that's put your headphones on, man, it sounds great. All right, I'm gonna drop that, and then 45 seconds into the song, it's like boom, like, oh man, you know.
But see, that goes back to
preparing.
No, preparing, and you gotta also tag your songs, and it depends. It goes back to what DJ Maxx was saying. You gotta know your crowd, because if you know your crowd, it's like for Saturday, even though they wanted country, I had to prepare. I had a set list for if they wanted, you know, traditional country, but then I also had a crate for the partiers or young people. You could,
new country.
Right. So therefore, once I realized they wanted country line dances, and then they were like the younger partying group. Therefore, a lot of those country songs are slow, but there's a lot of remixes, and they call it YMD, Yeehaw dance music or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, that has that EDM kind of vibe, or it's a mix with like a popular hip hop beat or a party beat, and then it has the country on top of it. So those things, if you set it up right, when you drop those songs, you'll have bangers, country bangers after country bangers, and the floor stay full.
Awesome.
So let's get back. Oh, I see we have a new person in our chat. I lost him. Because I watch him. Where is it? Just missed him.
SO Entertainment?
Huh?
SO Entertainment?
Yep. I watch his videos. I like him. Welcome him to our show. And he says, does a Quince count? Let me see. Because we was talking about quinceañeras and stuff.
Quinceañera is definitely Latin music.
depends which quinceañera. There's two
Yeah.
types.
Yep.
There's the Mexican one, and then there's the Caribbean quinceañera. So you got to be careful
And
what
then the
people are.
And then the Filipino one too.
I've never done a Filipino one.
Yeah, Filipino ones are very interesting. Well, we all know that the Philippines is they are the kings of line dancing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like they call it a debut, and the girl that they're celebrating is called a debutante. And the court is referred to as a cotillion, I believe, or the debutante's court. So same type of traditions. And they also have the pastor that's heavily involved. If they attend the church, the pastor's involved in terms of doing prayers and blessings for the debutante. And there's also a father-daughter dance. There's also the last doll given away from the girl to one of her little cousins because she doesn't play with toys anymore.
Okay.
And there's also a rose dance where all the uncles or all the male figures in that person's life takes a turn dancing with her, and they'll give her a rose first. They bow to her or give her like a little gesture of acknowledgement, and then they dance with her to a waltz. So
What's that thing that they do with the sticks on the floor? You ever see that? It's
the
like
sticks on the floor.
like the bamboo things that they do, and you have to step in between the bamboo. Is that a wedding?
That might be wedding related, or that might be a Filipino tradition I'm not familiar with. So I'm not sure about the sticks on the floor.
I've seen it once,
Yeah. Oh, really? No, it's interesting.
long time ago.
No. Okay.
Maybe it's not done anymore.
Yeah. So yeah, some quinceañera traditions are followed all the way through, like with Mexican quinceañeras, and some quinceañeras are more like we'll do some formalities, but go straight to dancing after dinner time. So it depends what the client wants. So, but more of the parents, whether they're together or not, they actually want to see the full quinceañera to be done from the entrances and her being escorted to the dance floor, the parents' dances, and so on and so forth.
Fun.
Yep.
I said it's so intricate. It's just actually it's harder to prepare for than a wedding.
Yeah, almost. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
My suggestion is if they're having a practice someplace, like the week before the event or
Go
the day
to it.
before the event, just go see it.
Yes.
Just show up, check out what they're doing. That way, the next day you have a good idea of what's going on.
I walked into mine. I had all my lights and everything, and then they had they bought everything off Amazon. I mean, it was all the cheaper stuff, but they must have had $2,000 worth of these cheap lights. I mean, they were going all over. Everything was lit up. You know, it was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And also a quick tip concerning working with Latin genres, if you're entertaining Latin genres for a crowd for the first time or for specific clients. For salsa music, do not play the redrum versions of salsa music because a redrum adds a downbeat, which sounds like a thumping club beat, to a salsa rhythm, which does not make any sense at all, and it sounds
Yeah.
really ugly. And also, when you're playing a salsa song, if you listen to the song before playing it, you'll find that like midway through the song, there's a cowbell being played, and that's kind of like the major part or the most danceable part of the song. You don't really want to cut out that part of the song too early, or people will look at you and be like, what are you doing to the song? You're castrating the song. So
Exactly.
and same thing with merengues and dembos. Do not play remixes. Try to stick with the original songs because sometimes you'll see a remix that'll incorporate some sort of EDM vibe to it, and it sounds wrong all the way through. So you don't want, let's say, a couple of hundred people from a particular country looking at you and like walk out on you. So it's going to look bad on you. So
Yeah, if you are gonna mix Spanish music, you will try the objective is to try and find the original song with an intro that's easy to mix and an outro. But that it's not too different than the song. Like
Yeah.
if it's redone with an intro, to try and find one that has the drums in the beginning and everything to easier to mix. As close to the original song as possible. That's what you want to do with Spanish music because intros and outros are really do help when you mix salsa and bachata, if you are going to mix it.
And you all
It's
talking
not
about
easy.
mixing. So therefore, do you play most of the song or is quick mixing something that you try to avoid?
Depends. Sometimes when you download the edit version, they'll have an in and out. Sometimes they'll have the short version, but usually Spanish music, you play the whole song. People enjoy it.
Yes.
No, it's a dancing thing. It's not a listening thing.
All right. So Ready Fred has said he plays a lot of Mexican regional music. He honestly don't know too many of his Mexican family that celebrates Cinco de Mayo. And then I saw
It's an American thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's American.
And then
Americanized.
a couple of people was talking about the list, the Spotify list. And I was like, yeah, you gotta remember AI be saying and putting up some stuff. So you gotta make sure you go through and look at what they put up, because they have Beach Boys up there for Cinco de Mayo, like Latin stuff. So, and then there was another comment.
Beach
I guess,
Boys may be good for the senior home. So
Is it because they think it's like Margaritaville, where it's like woohoo, frozen drinks, yay?
like Jimmy Buffett style
Yeah,
stuff.
oh, the song with John Stamos in it.
Yeah. Kokomo, right?
Yep.
Not like Aruba, Jamaica.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then Buddy said the Philippines has tons of Spanish influence. Remember, Spain controlled them for a long time.
Damn right we did.
And then he also
We took over.
said, don't
We were
forget
like,
to.
pork for everybody. We're taking over.
Well, it's Cubano, bro. You're not one of the colonizers. We were colonized, but we were colonized by them too. So
And then he
We're all
also-
from the same area, I think. Spain and Portugal.
yeah, right. Yeah.
And then he also said, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Yeah, I keep forgetting to say that each week.
Yeah, I posted that before.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. As far as the
The
chat.
chat,
Yeah.
I don't see it. I can't see it from my screen.
I have my other computer on over here, so I can see it.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it as far as the songs and stuff.
Well,
But
we're up to Colombia. We still got to do Colombia real
All right,
quick.
we can do that. We could be that could be our last one, and then we can say
sure.
pretty much the next episode dealing with the different events or how these songs fit and when to play them, and because I know because each one has a different vibe, so when to change the vibe up, because that's another thing I would be interested in knowing.
So Max, what's up with Colombians? What do you play for Colombians?
Man, Colombians are big time salseros and cumbacheros, which is they love salsa and cumbia. Cumbia, I took a liking to it after learning, after collecting all the music, after collecting all the salsa music. The salsa music I'm really familiar with. I almost find myself to be an expert for salsa music, especially for Colombia, because you have Grupo Niche. You also have Fruco y sus Tesos, Orquesta Guayacan. A lot of great salsa bands came from Colombia and also give competition to Puerto Rican salsa bands as well. And then you got cumbia, where you got Lisandro, I think Mesa. You got also Aniceto Molina. Aniceto Molina. That's another cumbia artist. And you also have, let me see. I was trying to name them off the top of my head as I was DJing. You also got Latin brothers from Colombia, Son de Cali. You got also Vallenato style music, which is music from Carlos Vives. What else? You also have salsa from Joey Arroyo as well.
Their salsa is very similar to Puerto Rican salsa, but I think it's faster.
Yes,
It's
it's
a faster
hell of
salsa.
a lot faster. And they also debuted a new style of salsa dancing from there almost 3 years ago, where it has like a lot of the it's like real tiptoeing style salsa dancing. If you've seen it coming from there, a lot of the younger crowd has adopted that versus the traditional Jibaro style salsa, the salsa dancing from Puerto Rico and Cuba
So,
as well.
so Colombians are mainly salsa, like a faster salsa, and then
Hmm.
a slow cumbia.
Yeah,
The
heavy on
cumbia
the
is usually
cumbia.
slow.
Heavy on the cumbia. It's more saucier than Mexican cumbia. Mexican cumbia tends to be more of a country vibe. The cumbia from Colombia has a more of a, you can hear the differences. They're heavy on the accordion as well, heavy on the drums as well, and singing long, drawn out riffs, which keeps the party going all night long, if you know what I mean. And also other subgenres from Colombia is, I think it's champeta, I think it is,
Hmm.
which is a heavy beat that was created for like an cultural style dancing, which has a very heavy African influence to it. But for Colombia, even for the rest of South America, Colombia can almost take the lead in this. It's mainly cumbia and beach music for the rest of the countries out there. But we can also talk about that at a different time. But for Colombia, they take the lead on salsa and cumbia as
Not too
well.
much merengue there.
Nope, nope, not really. Not really, not even dembow for that matter, too.
Yeah,
So
they're not really into reggaeton. They're mostly into like the salsa and cumbia.
yeah, it's funny that you say that. It's an interesting observation too when you come to think about it. So,
Yeah,
and then what else for cumbia artists? For the
like Sonora Dinamita, right?
yep,
Is that
them too.
old school cumbia?
Yeah, and I think they're Mexican too, but that actually they're played in Colombia as well.
Mm.
So and also you got let me see, another band called Chocolate.
Okay.
They play that song Mayonesa,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
yeah,
which
yeah.
is more like a pop song
Right.
from Colombia. And then you have Pastor Lopez, Lucho y Rafa. You also got the Caracas Boys. What else? Aniceto Molina, I was mentioned. Willie also mentioned Sonora Dinamita, Los Hispanos, Armando Hernandez. But he does a lot of cumbia for both countries, which is Mexico and Colombia as well.
Would you say Carlos Vives does cumbias, or is it more of a different type of music?
He does cumbias, but he does vallenatos.
Vallenatos. Right.
Vallenatos, yes.
He,
So that's more of the fast-paced, almost like carnival style
would you
music.
say he's the face of Colombia, or
That's a good question. Some people would argue that Maná will be
Mana?
the face of rock and roll in Spanish. So me personally, I think Grupo Nietzsche is the face of Colombia. So
Okay, there you go.
in terms of the salsa genre.
So
So
if you want to play for Colombians and you want to choose what salsa you need, look for Grupo Nietzsche.
and Cali Pachanguero would be the first song you want to play.
Yep.
Or any type of song that has any type of Colombian city in it. And if it's a salsa, definitely play it because it's paying tribute to that city in Colombia. So
So if you're doing a wedding where one of the the newlyweds is a certain country, just go to Spotify and put Colombia dance music or Colombia salsa, and all the salsa from Colombia will come up. That's all.
oh yeah, great suggestions on Spotify, by the way. So and it's really accurate suggestions too. It's not like, just garbage gathered by a computer. I think it's compiled from just people participating in those genres, as well as getting the Billboard charts from that specific country as well. So Spotify tends to be a little bit more accurate than Apple Music in terms of specific country lists.
There you go.
All right, with that, so let's go ahead and end it so we can keep our 2 hour quota that we're trying to do this year because we can pick it up.
Time flies.
Yeah.
Time does fly.
And
Good
so
conversation.
we can pick this up next week. You available?
Yeah, that should be it. Let me see. Next Thursday, same time?
Yep.
Let me see here. Yep, the May 7th, I'm available. Yes.
Okay.
It's so funny. May 5th, it's Cinco de Mayo, but on the 4th, we'll be playing Star Wars stuff,
Mhm.
you
May
know?
the fourth be with you.
May
Wow.
the 4th be with you.
And then those that's in the chat, or if you're watching the replay of this, If you have any questions, make sure you put it in the comment section, and then we'll make sure we'll try to address it next week when we all gather again. But there was another buddy had said something. He made a suggestion. It moved. It was a song suggestion. More cowbell. Is up. Oh, he said.
Cowbell.
Oh, it was. He says Peppers fills his dance floor, and then he goes into Danza Kuduro.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's at 128 beats per minute, and it keeps the floor packed.
Where is Pepas from? Is it Dominican or Puerto Rican?
Pepas is technically I have it labeled under a Dominican song. It's done by Farruko originally.
Yeah.
Let me look it up real quick. Pepas.
It's a good question because it's more of a dance song than anything.
But it does have dembo influence to it as well. So I have that. I have those specific genres that Dwayne said under the Latin club genre hits, especially with some dembos. Because it's like that person who suggested that song that Pepas keeps the dance floor filled.
Oh, Buddy
Dwayne?
from
Buddy.
TBM
Buddy.
Productions.
Oh, Buddy, yes, definitely. That's a big amen to that because that, as well as Bailar by Diodro and also some Jennifer Lopez hits, does that as well. And he also got the Azuquita by Steve Aoki.
Steve Aoki.
He does like a thing with Elvis Crespo, who is the artist from Suavemente as well. So
And then there was another comment I wanted to say. Oh, Buddy went on and said he did a Colombia wedding. They had Crazy Hour, and that was the first time I heard about Crazy Hour was when Diego was talking about it. And he said the groom was from Colombia.
yes,
His wife was from the United States, and he had the bride's mom dancing on a table. And he says it was a fun one.
Should have got video.
Nice. Yeah, Crazy Hour is La Hora Loca. And usually what's involved with that is playing all the party music 1 hour straight. People have, let's say, it almost feels like a Mardi Gras as well, right? Because you'll give it little trinkets and like party trinkets and necklaces and party wands.
And the robot comes out.
And the robot comes out, exactly. Yep. The LED robot.
LED robot.
So the robot comes out during Crazy Hour only.
Exactly. Yep.
Okay.
That's a good time to bring him out.
It's too hot to be in that suit any longer than that, you know?
Oh, yeah.
That's why they get paid the big bucks, those guys.
That's
So is
right.
that a requirement that they have the robots at the parties?
Popular now.
It's really popular, and usually they're hired if the client is going to have that La Hora Loca. So it's like, he's always there for my parties. Every time I do a quinceañera that has that, or even a wedding, the robot's always there. So it's almost like a standard issue for those type of events.
Okay. And so let's go ahead, because it's 10:50. It takes us about a good 10 minutes to get through our last section or
Yes.
segment. So let's go into our shout-outs. And each week we take a look at the top people or chatters. I gotta come up with a fancy name. Just like you have your Barbs for Nicki Minaj. What is it? The Biebs for Justin Bieber. We gotta call our DJ community, our viewers, give them a fancy name.
Oh, like with fans of BTS, they're called the Army.
Yeah, or something.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
What's the ones for Lady Gaga?
Um,
The Gaga Monsters or something? What does she call them?
yeah,
I forgot.
I forget.
The vomiters or something, or because I saw one segment of her, one of her fans were vomiting on her during a concert or something. Something like that. I don't know what she's into, but
Yeah. So our
Cue it
leader
up,
from
cue it
last
up.
week was DJ Cool Thing. Buddy came in second. Kevin was in third place. DJ Mikey Mike was in 4th. La Ruckus Inc. Diego was in 5th. DJ BB 52 163 came in 6th. The Shuffle Couple came in 7th. DJ Will was 8th. North Georgia Wedding Events came in 9th. Big DJ Services was 10th. A New K 9868 came in 11th. Ready Fred 3767 was 12th. And then DJ Reese was 13th. So again, I'd like to thank Will for joining us for another episode of the Cue It Up podcast. And you can follow Will on his YouTube channel at DJ Will _Silver. And then I would like to also thank DJ Maxx with 2 X's Saint. So make sure you put 2 X's for Max and Saint so you get the right person.
New Jersey.
Yeah. I just look for the heart and the record because there's too many of them.
That's right. Yes, thank you. Thank you for saying that's the record because some people called it an 8-ball. I have no idea why. So.
And you can follow him at DJ Maxx Saint. And remember, Max is with 2 X's. And then you can also join our Facebook group page. There's the long URL code you can type in, or you can just go to Facebook and in the search bar, type in Cue It Up DJ Podcast and join our private group or public group. And the 2 Spotify playlists that I was talking about, I did put that up. Only thing I have to do is just go through the top Cinco de Mayo dance floor favorite tracks, go through and read out all the songs that doesn't fit that vibe, like your Beach Boys and all that. But I have the links up there. If you joined our Facebook group page, you can go check those out, and also put up the Crate Hackers Cinco de Mayo playlist as well. You can join DJ Mikey Mike on his socials at DJ Mikey Mike on Twitter and Facebook, and at DJ Mikey Mike 45 on Instagram. And then you can follow me at hitmanddub on all of my socials. And then we have this thing called the DJ Collective Network, where it's one culture and many voices. So welcome to our prime time. Let me get this out the way. Our primetime DJ lineup, a weekly schedule of live stream shows built for DJs by DJs. Whether you're just starting out or scaling your business, we've got the knowledge, stories, and inspiration to help you level up. On Mondays, for every DJ chasing dreams, no matter the odds, it's your time to spend with DJ Cool Thing at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel, which is at DJ Cool Thing Official. And then on Tuesdays, join at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. Join Buddy and his weekly guest panel of DJs for unfiltered conversations that matter. It's the DJ Roundtable with Buddy from TPM Productions. And if you missed the live stream on Twitch, you can see the rebroadcast every Monday at 1 o'clock p.m. on his YouTube channel at TPM Productions DJ 1. And then on Wednesdays, your home for real talk about DJ gear, live performance, and industry culture. You can join DJ James King and make YouTube great again by joining his King's Court DJ podcast every Wednesdays at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on his YouTube channel, which is at James King HTX. From 8 to 9, he usually chat with the people in the chat about speaker reviews and gear breakdowns and tips to help DJs get better. And then at 9 o'clock, he usually have a guest come on his show. And yesterday he had DJ Rachel. So I got to check that one out. Then on Thursdays, it's the busiest night of the week. We have the Cue It Up DJ podcast with me, the hitmanddub, and DJ Mike at 9 o'clock every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on my YouTube channel at the hitmanddub. And then we also have another podcast that starts at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time at La Ruckus Inc., where you have DJ Pretty Boy and DJ Shay, and they are the Start to Spin DJ podcast. Also, you can see Kevin, DJ K Productions, live on the KJ Chill Room karaoke chat with Matt and Eric. You can also join them live every Monday at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern by just going to djntv.com/KJChill, or you can just see the rebroadcast the following week on the Disc Jockey News TV YouTube channel. And then we also have the Recreate the Vibes podcast with DJ Reese, and you can follow him at _DJ Reese_ on his Instagram, or look up Recreate the Vibes podcast, and he talks about DJing in the corporate arena. And then here's a quick heads up. If you need a photo booth that actually stands out, not the same basic setup, Sean, DJ Night Owl, just brought out the Mega Booth. It has a sleek design, LED lighting, and an infinity mirror look. It's a whole vibe, not just a booth. Perfect for weddings, parties, wherever you are going to, wherever you got going on. If you want your event to feel different, this is it. And you can use our Cue It Up code and get $500 off by just typing in Cue It Up. There's no spaces, it's all one word. And the booth runs at $2,495, but then with our code, you can get $500 off. And then he's also selling the Sigma video guest book, and that's available for $7.95. You can get it in red, black, or white. And he'll be getting the old beta booth back in. And then you can also check out his YouTube channel, which is the DJ Biz School with Sean at DJ Biz School. And there you can find out how to up your SEO game, your website, and your online marketing. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit the like button for this episode. And our fade out message is, it's not about knowing every genre, it's about knowing your crowd. And that's the main thing that was brought out tonight. Because I knew there was different subgenres of Latin music, but I didn't realize it was so definitive
Complicated.
with the area or culture. And we talked about a lot of cultures, but
Yes.
you all said that you all still got a whole bunch of other cultures that we still need to touch upon.
Oh yeah.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Yep. So I'm gonna go and do my homework and start looking out. Maybe I'll go and test out, do a mix, take one of these subgenres and do a mix of those songs, so I can kind of can get a vibe of what kind of songs will fit into those subgenres.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
So-
also, I sent you a message concerning nicknaming the viewers, or you want to give like the viewers a nickname.
Okay.
I sent you some suggestions through the messaging,
Okay.
and my favorite one is called the cuties.
The cuties. But
Cuties.
that sounds too much
Cuties,
like
yes.
the cutie pies that Mikey Mike called DJ
Cuties.
Pretty Boy.
Good boy.
or the Q
cutie
crew.
pie.
The Q.
Uh-huh.
The Q crew's
Cutie
better.
pie.
The Qers.
Q squad. So
The Q squad.
You got a whole bunch I sent you in the messaging, so I heard a little chime in come in. So when I sent them to
Okay.
you, so you'll see it in the Facebook messaging. So
Okay. Cool. Do you all have anything else that you all want to say before we head on out?
oh yeah, thanks for having me on. It was awesome covering the real specifics for each country. It's almost like daunting to really tackle this, and at the same time, you almost got to do like some super research if you're not familiar. But once you know the crowd and you do the research and you play the right songs, you're just going to be a superstar on behind the booth, So just make sure that don't play nothing too offensive, and make sure it's like it caters to the culture, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. So therefore, for here on out, if I get a wedding and I find out that they have like a Latin or a Spanish, they're a Spanish descendant or something.
Yeah.
The follow-up questions should be about trying to
Where they're
find out what was it?
Where they're from.
Right.
Yeah. What exactly country they're from? What exact country they're from? So.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely you have to.
Okay, because I would have just went and said okay, and this went with the the mainstream American songs and just messed it all up.
The hardest ones are the Cubans because they don't like the Mexican music at all. So
How could you say that? How could you say that?
It's the truth. My buddy's from Cuba. His name is Will.
Yeah. It's the only Spanish guy he knows.
Juan Carlos Gonzalez.
And then Kevin in the chat is giving us the signal that we should end, so Mike don't make us go viral again by falling asleep. Because I was looking a few times. I was looking because your head got low a couple of times.
I was checking my mom on my phone at the video, make sure she's a-okay.
Is when we hit the Mexican genres, that's what happens sometimes. The Mexican genres, it's so long-winded, like you can't keep up with it. So
I have experience DJing quinceañeras and Mexican weddings. Matter of fact, I was the only, besides the bride and groom, they were bilingual, and I only spoke one language, and everybody else just was Spanish. And I'm like, so they're coming up and requesting music. I'm like, no comprende. You write it down. Yeah, they wrote it down. They wrote it in Spanish. I'm like, okay,
that's like me doing an Arabic wedding. It's like, what? How do you? Even when they write it down, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, they have to text you the name of the song so you can copy and paste it in YouTube and find it somewhere, So
what was nice is the bride and groom gave me all the music for the wedding, and they said this is what we know they're going to request. Okay, but when they're talking to you in the way they write, it's just I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to look at my list because that's typed out. And it's like, which song is it here?
Yep. So we're going to head on out because I see that Mikey Mike is getting his second win. It'll be just like last week. Last week we was ready to end it right at 11 o'clock, and then somehow we got to 11:20.
It's all the espresso coffee that he's drinking because we're doing Latin tonight.
I just want to make sure she doesn't fall and she's safe and sound on the couch. I'm like, okay. She ain't moving. She's moving around, but she ain't getting up and trying to get up off the couch. So yeah, let's end the show.
Okay.
I got things to do.
Going back to Kevin. Kevin was saying something about a list or whatever. But one good thing about AI, like Poppy AI and all that, I'll run this episode through that, so therefore it can give me the list of the different the countries, and put all the songs that you all had mentioned in a clear format, and basically, I guess, put in a chart format for all of us non-Spanish DJs to be able to follow. So we'll be ready for next week when you all come.
Yeah, and definitely if you put it in, if you address the AI prompt, just make sure you put it as you're not familiar with these genres and you're tackling these genres for the first time. Then it'll give you a list that you can like, let's say, compile much more easy versus the deep cuts, so to speak. Because if you start playing, let's say, some serious songs to, let's say, to a Mexican crowd, they're gonna expect you to play that all night versus the songs that might be great for a DJ that's first, you know, diving into the pool, you know, in the kiddie pool section first versus the deep waters, if you know what I mean. So, yeah.
Okay, so be checking out for the in the Facebook group page, and I'll put that there in the public group and the private group. So
Awesome.
again, thank you all for joining us. I hope some of the new faces I saw in the chat. I hope to see you all next week. So with that, make sure you go out there and crush those gigs this weekend, and hopefully we'll see you back here next week. Make sure to check out all of our other shows throughout the week. That's part of our DJ Collective Network. So as always, remember, before it's time to spin, you gotta first cue it up. All right, take care,
Practice
y'all.
and enjoy, everybody.
All right. Good night. Good night.
Good night.
It was a pleasure.
Practice and enjoy.
Definitely. Definitely.
Before the lights, 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 before the packed dance floors, before the name queued up, would mean anything. Been hustling over 30 years, working every single day. Music wasn't just a job, it was built in my DNA. The journey wasn't overnight. Still figuring it out. Still figuring it out. There ain't no changing me. There ain't no changing me. I can only be me, me, me. The consistency stayed the same. Even if they don't feel the same. Cause no matter how high I go, I'm still the same OG. Changing me, there ain't no changing me. I can only be me, me, me.